Yes, good morning. Yes. Welcome to the special Friday edition of Kevin at 7. How do you have more influence with people? And how can you, in a moment, kill all your influence with people? And I'm going to talk about both today because I've seen some great examples recently of ways that people try to communicate in ways that they want to influence, they want to make a point, and they absolutely, by the way they do it, make everybody want to just like walk away and not listen to them. In fact, I had one thing happen to me, I'll tell you about in a minute, where I was planning to do something and then I got some feedback, and the way they gave me the feedback made me go like, I'm not going to do it. Now I want to just not do what I was going to do just to show them, just because the way they communicated was so ridiculous. It was just like, that just ticks me off. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hey JP from DC. Good to see you. Joe from Southern Illinois. Good morning, Bonnie from Port Charlotte. Good morning, Francisco from Indio, California. Good morning to all those of you joining me on YouTube. The Kevin Ward page on Facebook and like that page. Join me there. That's where we'll be doing all of our Kevin 7 shows from now on, is on the Facebook platform. Good morning, Benito de Santiago. Good morning from Redmond, Washington. Ravi, good to see you guys this morning. All right, let's just dive right into this. Good morning, Matt from Reisterstown, Maryland. Good morning, Tanika from Maryland also. All right. I'm assuming all of you that have YouTube channels also have Facebook accounts. And if you don't, go start one, because if you're going to be anything in this world, and this is crazy to have to say this, but having a Facebook presence is kind of like having an email 20 years ago. It's like people were still not wanting to have email, but if you're going to interact and engage with people, there's so many advantages of being able to engage on Facebook. So I like to engage with you guys on Facebook. You guys on YouTube, we're going to continue to bring great content, but it's going to be training content videos as opposed to the live stream conversations. That's just a little better platform for YouTube on that. Good morning, Evelina from Denver. Good morning, Annette, Nicole Williams. I got a lot of coaching members on today. Welcome. Glad to have you guys on. So if you're a yes master, just type in the comments, hashtag I am a yes master. And if you've not yet told us where you're from, tell us where you're coming from. So how do you have more influence with people? Well, everybody, look, if you are going to be successful in life, you've got to learn how to influence people. You want to learn how to influence people and win friends. Now, Andrew Carnegie, now I get it. I'm sorry, Dale Carnegie wrote a book years and years ago, like, I don't know, 80 years ago. It's been a long time, called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I love this book. In fact, let me grab this copy of it to show you guys. Do not go anywhere while I disappear from the screen. I just had to run to my bookshelf. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is my original copy of it. It doesn't even have a back cover. It's all taped. I've taped it with the packing tape so it doesn't fall apart anymore. And you can see the look at this. Isn't that crazy? I got this book. This was when my dad gave it to me. Right here. Can you see that? Whoops. Oh no, it's falling apart. Hang on. My dad gave this to me in 1982. 1982, right there. You can see it. 1982. That was the year I graduated from high school. And the book was already old. It was his copy. And he gave it to me. And it was actually, when it was printed, the price on it is 95 cents. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, it's just even my tape job is worn out. I'm gonna have to retape it. But I love this book because what it talks about is the principles of how. Hey guys, good morning. Hey Champagne, good morning. Max from Champagne, not Champagne. And what Facebook identity are you using for your live streams? Paul, it's Kevin Ward Page. Okay, so facebook.com/Kevin Ward Page. Okay, yeah, this is, Paul Murphy says, this is an annual read for me. This should be an annual read for all of you. And that's why I have this copy, is because this is the one I read now, because this copy, this is my favorite, but it's so worn out, it's falling apart, and it's just too hard to read. It's all marked up with all the markings. It's all different color ink and some water stains and probably some coffee stains. I don't know. But here's what I want to talk about today. And this, I think, is part of our culture, what's going on in our culture. And that is, and my wife gets on to me, Julie gets on to me about this occasionally too. And that is that we get when we get frustrated, we communicate different. When our emotions get us and then we communicate different and we push. I'm going to call it push communication instead of pull communication. And what push communication is it's like, if I want you to do something, I'm going to push you to do it. Like, go do it. And it's harsh. It's not friendly. Doesn't inspire me. It doesn't make me want to do something. So there's a difference between inspiring people to do stuff and insisting on somebody to do something, right? As one is, I want to make them want to do it. And the other is like, I don't care if you want to do it or not, you're going to do it. And we push. Did Paul Murphy just switch from YouTube to Facebook? Hello, Paul. Love it. Yeah, Paul, I come on, for those of you that are worried about this notification, I come on at 7 a.m. You can count on it like clockwork at 7 a.m. I've done it for 50. This is the episode 50. That is now, whatever that is, 6 weeks of every single 10 weeks of every single day at 7 o'clock sharp. I've been done it. I'm on within 60 seconds of 7 o'clock. I think maybe one exception because I was traveling. But you can count on it. I'm going to be here at 7 o'clock on Kevin Ward page on YouTube, Facebook, not YouTube, on Facebook. And we'll be here. I'll continue to deliver great content on YouTube, but it'll be different. It'll be just training videos. All right. So, 10 weeks. Thank you, Tom. All right. So I'm going to give you just 3 principles of communicating. I'm going to tell you a story of what happened. So in watching the Kevin at 7 show over the last 10 weeks, I started originally, this was going to be a Facebook live stream. And then they got me on YouTube live. Let's try YouTube live and see how it goes. So we tried YouTube and Facebook. And the feedback that I've gotten from private messages and comments on the YouTube channel is basically, we come to watch your videos for content. And when we don't watch you live, half of your video time in 15 minutes or 20 minutes of video is interacting with people and saying, hey, good morning, Alba from San Francisco. Good to see you this morning. And they're going like, we don't want to hear that, right? And on social media, on Facebook, it's a little more social. It's a little more like, this is a conversation we're gonna have live. People aren't gonna really watch this video after we're done with the live stream this morning. And so for those of you that join me live, I wanna give you 15 to 20 minutes of inspiration to get you going for the day, to get you fired up, just to connect with you. And I love that. I love doing that. And people on Facebook tend to like that. People on YouTube tend to want, just give me good stuff, right? So that's the switch we're making. Now, the feedback that I got was really interesting, because I would have people going like, I love your training. I love your videos. However, I would like it better if you didn't have all the interaction with a live audience. Okay. That is a feedback that I got. Then I'm going like, okay, that makes sense. Now, I want to just break down how they communicated that to me. They said, number one, they said, I like your stuff. It's great. Awesome. Keep doing it. But I would like a change. So number one, the first principle is, when you care about, is care. Let me just do that. Number one is care. If you want to have influence with somebody, you got to care about them and not just care about yourself. If you got it, give me some thumbs up or just type in care. Can you care? That is the first thing. If I feel like you don't care about me and you're just trying to get me to do what you want to do because that's what you want, then it's like, there's no power to that. I may listen because I'm a good guy, but I don't care. But if you don't care about me, it's hard for me to care about you. You know what I mean? And it's certainly hard for me to want to be like you. Thank you guys. Thank you, Yola. Thank you for those of you posting it in here. Care. Good morning, Mark from Newport Center Toastmasters. Care. I love it. Okay. So number one is, you got to care about somebody. If you want to influence them, they got to believe you care about them. And this is so important as a real estate agent or in sales or in business. And that is, you're trying to get a client to do something and they think you want them to do it for your benefit, then they don't trust you, right? They don't trust you. Hey, Max, preferred services, carpet cleaning and floor care of San Diego. That's cool. So If you're in any kind of service business, if people don't think you care, I don't want somebody cleaning my carpet if I don't think they care about my carpet, my house, my pets, and so forth. Because this is where we live. For you, it may just be a carpet cleaning job, but for me, it's where I live. So whenever a carpet cleaner comes in here and I feel like they really care about me, I'm going to give you an example. Homie, our beagle, was diagnosed now 4 weeks ago, a little over 4 weeks ago, with stage 5 lymphoma, massive lymphatic cancer, given 4 to 6 weeks to live. I mean, it was like over. Dr. Doan, who is our vet in Hermosa Beach, Dr. Doan at Hermosa Animal Hospital, shout out to them. She is the best veterinarian I have ever seen in my life because she cares so much about animals and so much about your animal. It literally brings me to tears just thinking about it, because we took our little kitty cat, Princess, in for her annual checkup at 2 years old. Earlier this week, we took her in, and first thing, Dr. Doan comes in, she connects with the kitty cat, talks to Princess, and then she talks about Homie. And she hasn't seen Homie in a month because he's now going to the cancer doctor, the specialist, Dr. Garbanza. And she's no longer seeing him, but she has them, the cancer hospital, the veterinary cancer hospital, literally they give her a report after they see Homie every time. They send it to him, and she pays attention to that. She comes in because we're treating Princess, our little kitty cat, but she has Homie's file, and she's already looked at it to see what's up with Homie, our beagle. And I mean, it was just like, I know one thing about this lady. She doesn't just looking at my kitty cat as her job. She cares about our animals. And when she cares about our animals, I feel like this lady cares about us, right? So you believe everything she tells you, everything she says. And like, I don't want our animals to ever go to another vet, because nobody's going to care about our animals and care about us as the owners the way she does. If this makes sense, let me see some thumbs up. And I'm going to tell you guys, I don't give a crap if there's a better veterinarian out there. I do not care. There are better veterinarians, I'm sure. But there's not a veterinarian out there that cares more than Dr. Doan. And when she cares that much, I feel safe with my animals going to her. Does that make sense? I'll tell you, Dr. Garbanza, I love this guy. He is a veterinary specialist and an oncologist. So he's a cancer specialist for animals. And he's so cute because he is so, what's the word? He's so uncomfortable with people, with strangers. He's totally uncomfortable with us. It's just like he's kind of socially awkward, I think would be the right case. I mean, it's one of those guys that he's obviously brilliant and he's so good at what he does, but he's socially awkward. So when he comes in and he sits down with us, it's actually funny to watch him. He's more comfortable with Homie than he is with us, I think. But he cares. He's so good, and the staff cares, and I'm just like, I want that. Now, I want you in your work, I want to challenge you to create that culture of caring. And if you got a client, if you got an employee or a staff member, an assistant or whatever, and they don't care like that, get rid of them, get them out, because they hurt your clients and they hurt your business. One of the things I love about our team is that our Yes Masters Dream Team is every single person on our team cares about our clients. They care about our people. They care about you guys. And you can tell, right? You can tell by the way they communicate because they care. And I love it. So number one is caring. Number two, when you have to give feedback, when you have to talk and give somebody a negative something, I want to influence you to make a change, is positivity first. So number one is caring. Number two is positivity first. In other words, be positive before you're negative. Give them the positives. Tell them something good. Compliment them before you critique them. Make sense? Compliment them before you critique them. I'm really, this idea of constructive criticism bothers me, because constructive criticism is still criticism, and criticism tends to tear down. So I'm like, I don't know if there's any such thing as constructive criticism. I just think the word criticism, when it comes to, giving people negative, has a negative energy to it. So it's got to be feedback. And the way that some of the comments that I got that said I mentioned a minute ago on the YouTube was, I love your channel, I love your videos, but I would like less stuff. Well, he started out with positivity first, which communicates I care, that he cared about me. right? Communicates caring, and then it says, but I would like to do this. So there is caring first, positivity before the feedback, any negative feedback, positivity. So let me see positivity. Yeah, positive stuff allows the ears to open. I love that, Paul Murphy. Yep, good stuff. This making sense? Let me see some thumbs up. So positivity first. And before you give negative feedback, give positive feedback. Now, guys, this is not just true in business. This is true in your family. This is true in your marriage. It's true with your kids and great parenting. If you want to be a great parent and actually influence your kids to do what you want them to do right, you be positive before you give them negative. Thank you for being this way. Thank you for doing this. However, I need you to stop doing this, right? Do the positive before you do the negative. All right. So positivity first, if you want them to hear you. And then third is give the feedback with humility. Give the feedback with humility. And that is just be humble in giving it. Don't come across as superior, as condescending, as I'm smarter than you and you're stupid. I'm better. I like you. You're awesome, but I'm smarter. When you come across that way, you just turn people off. Now, nice thing is you can practice on complete strangers. You can, but it's really, you can practice on anybody. Yeah. So this is what happened. I made a decision this week that I was going to switch from doing YouTube just to doing the Facebook live streams and no longer do the live streams on YouTube as well. I'll still be putting a lot of videos up on YouTube, but not going to do the live ones. And I got a comment on one of the you guys can go back and see it. I mean, if you want to go look for it, but it's a guy that is giving me feedback. He doesn't like the live streams on YouTube. And here's what his first thing he says in the feedback is, stop being lazy. That's his feedback. Stop being lazy. I get it that you want to repurpose videos or something. He starts going in there like he's basically says, so number one, stop being lazy. So the very first thing he does is accuse me of laziness. Excuse me? I make a commitment every single day, weekdays, 5 days a week to come on for free and give my time to try to help people. And you're calling me lazy? And what's your my immediate reaction is going like, screw you. I'm almost like, I'm going to keep doing it on YouTube just because he's such a jerk. Isn't it crazy? I'm like, I get it. But I totally maybe agree with him. But when you that the live streams are, he doesn't like the live streams. That's what he didn't like. He didn't like all the interaction I'm having with you guys right now and so forth. Hi, Heather. He's probably not listening to me today because I don't think he watches me live. He watches the replays, which that's what he didn't like. And so number one, he tells me I'm lazy. Okay, if you want to start out by not having influence with somebody, start out by telling them what's wrong with them and make a judgment about them. Okay, it's even different to say, I don't like the way you do your live streams. Is not an accusation. That's saying, I don't like it. That's just personal. I get, so you can say that. And I'm like, cool. You don't have to like it. But if you say you're lazy, now you're making an accusation. You're judging me and calling me lazy. I got all over me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep giving those long YouTube live streams just to piss him off. It's just the way I felt, right? Because he accused me. And then he goes like, I get it. I know what you're trying to do. So now he comes across as like, I'm smarter than you. I'm on to you. I know what you're doing. And I'm like, dude, I looked at your channel and the number of subscribers you have no idea what I do. You have no idea what you're doing. I just, just like, grr, gets all over me. So he comes with negativity first, a judgment instead of caring, and no humility. And I'm like, if you want to make somebody never listen to you and actually make them want to do the opposite of what you want, come across like that. Isn't that crazy? And I love that, Kathleen's. Not everyone's going to like you. You just have to like you. I know this is not about me. This is about how you influence people. I'm just telling you the natural reactions that we have whenever somebody comes across and they don't come across as caring and they don't come across with positivity and they don't come across with humility. When you come across as arrogant and judging and like, I don't like this and I don't like it because you're being lazy, you're not going to win with many people. And Eric, don't worry about it. Haters are going to hate. I know. I'm talking about how you communicate. This is not about him. Okay. This is about how do we, when we're frustrated or when we're tired or in a hurry, do we sometimes without thinking and without meaning to, do we communicate that way? Does that make sense? It's not about him and how bad he is. I just use as an example of how I want you to pay attention when you see people's negative feedback, or when you see people that do something like that and they communicate and you go like, it's like actually the opposite of influencing you to do what they want. It actually makes you want to go the other direction or rebel against them. Just think, how do I communicate? So this is not about us transferring and judging him. This is about how do I communicate? I just use the story because it's a great example of how to kill your influence with anybody in a split second. Is when you come across as condescending, when you come across as judgmental, when you come across as critical, when you come across as negative, and that's how you lead, you lose every single time. If you got it, let me see some thumbs up. I want to see, I'm going to say this because this affects us. In our culture today, there's a lot of stuff going on that I consider to be very negative. And I'm going to talk, like I will say, protesting. I think protesting is a very ineffective way to bring about change. Okay, it just is. Protesting is a way to bring attention to something. You get attention about protesting. So you go back to the civil rights thing, the civil rights movement that was started really by Rosa Parks in I don't remember what year, Rosa Parks in when she refused to go to the back of the bus. She stood up and made a protest and just said, I'm not going to the back of the bus. I'm not going to do it. So she stood for something. But the change happened because people when they got attention through the protest, then you had positive leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. who advocated positivity and change, and he advocated unity, not disunity. He advocated coming together and eliminating judgment rather than being hateful. And one of the things about protests today, and a lot of the culture that's going on, is people that are advocating for something, the way they do it is so hateful that you immediately kill your influence just because of the way you come across. Does that make sense? This is so important that we understand that you can literally kill your credibility for promoting for something when the way you do it actually undermines the very value that needs to happen to do that. And I'll just get real straight up on this. And it's not being political. It's being just, it's right. If you're against racism, and I think most of us are actually against racism, right? And you want to say that racism is a problem in our country, and you want to eliminate racism. Racism at its heart and soul, under the whole thing of racism, what causes racism is hate. Okay, racism is, at one level or another, it's hatred for somebody of another race. Okay, that's what, to me, racism really is. It's when I think less of or do not like or hate somebody because of their race, right? So if the problem that causes racism and hatred, what we need to eliminate is hatred for somebody that's different than you, regardless whether it's race or whatever. If somebody's different than you and you hate them because they're different, because you don't trust them, you don't like them, or whatever, you think they're less worthy, whatever it is, if hate is at the bottom of that, you're never going to conquer hate, a hate-based belief by hate. If I'm making sense, let me see some thumbs up. You're not going to eliminate it by doing it. Okay. You're not going to eliminate hate by hating. You're not going to eliminate something you don't like by doing something that is destructive. And I think that's like, when it comes to communicating, if you want somebody to stop, it's kind of like it's kind of like trying to get somebody to stop being violent by being violent on them, right? Now, and I'm not talking about law enforcement. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when it comes to influence in your life and influencing in relationships, is if your spouse is mad and when they're mad, they have a temper tantrum, and you're saying, I wish you'd quit having temper tantrums, and you yell back at them, you're not going to win, right? You got to care, you got to give positivity, and you got to give it with humility. That's how you bring relationships together. And the whole goal of influence is to lead and bring together and move forward, not to push apart, pull apart, and all of that. Everybody got it? So that is my message for today for Kevin at 7, and that is just master influence by caring about people, being positive, and being positive with humility. You will always win in your relationships. You guys are awesome. You're my favorites. To those of you on YouTube, this is our last day on YouTube Live. We're going to be on Facebook Live. Go to facebook.com/Kevin Ward page. That's where we're going to be doing all of our live streams from now on. So we will no longer be doing live streams on YouTube. I will continue to be posting videos on YouTube. So if you haven't, training content videos, if you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, make sure you go to Kevin Ward Now on YouTube. So it's youtube.com/Kevin Ward Now for training and motivational videos. For live streams, go to facebook.com/Kevin Ward page. Follow me there, like the page, and make sure your notifications